Question 1. Insurance principles and concepts. Which of the following best describes the principle of indemnity in personal lines insurance? A. It ensures that the insured is compensated for the exact amount of their loss, no more, no less. B. It allows the insured to receive more than their actual loss in case of an insurance claim. C. It requires the insured to have a higher deductible to reduce moral hazard. D. It stipulates that the insured must have an insurable interest at the time of loss only. Correct answer. It ensures that the insured is compensated for the exact amount of their loss, no more, no less. Explanation. The principle of indemnity is a fundamental insurance concept ensuring that policyholders are compensated to the extent of their financial loss, preventing them from profiting from an insurance claim. This principle maintains fairness and discourages intentional loss or fraud. The principle does not support overcompensation, B. high deductibles for moral hazard, C. or limiting insurable interest to the time of loss only, D. The Arizona Revised Statutes Rs. Title 20. Insurance supports this principle to ensure fairness and prevent unjust enrichment. Question 2. Personal auto policy PAP. What coverage is provided under Part C of a personal auto policy PAP? A. Liability coverage. B. Uninsured underinsured motorist coverage. C. Medical payments coverage. D. Coverage for damage to your auto. Correct answer. B. Uninsured underinsured motorist coverage. Explanation. Part C of the personal auto policy provides uninsured underinsured motorist coverage, protecting the insured if they are involved in an accident with a driver who either has no insurance or insufficient insurance to cover the damages. This coverage ensures that the insured can recover damages they are legally entitled from their own insurer when the at-fault party cannot fully compensate for the loss. Liability coverage is Part A, medical payments coverage. C is Part B, and coverage for damage to your auto. D is Part D. This structure is specified under Arizona's insurance regulations to provide comprehensive protection to policyholders. Question 3. Homeowners insurance, scenario-based. Mr. Williams owns a home in Arizona and has a HO3 homeowners policy. During a severe storm, a tree falls and damages his roof and personal property inside the house. Which parts of his policy will respond to cover the damages? A. Coverage for the roof damage and coverage C for the personal property. B. Coverage B for the roof damage and coverage C for the personal property. C. Coverage for the roof damage and coverage D for the personal property. D. Coverage for both the roof and personal property damage. Correct answer. A coverage for the roof damage and coverage C for the personal property. Explanation. In a HO3 homeowners policy, coverage with Welling will cover damages to the structure of the home, including the roof. Coverage C, personal property, will cover the damages to personal property inside the home. Coverage B, other structures, pertains to detached structures like garages or sheds, and coverage D, loss of use, covers additional living expenses if the home is uninhabitable. Arizona's homeowners insurance regulations align with these standard coverage definitions to ensure adequate protection for policyholders. Question 4. Flood insurance. Under the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, which of the following is NOT covered? A. Building property. B. Personal property. C. Increased cost of compliance. D. Damage caused by sewer backup unless caused by a flood. Correct answer. D. Damage caused by sewer backup unless caused by a flood. Explanation. The National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, provides coverage for building property. A. Personal property. B. An increased cost of compliance. C. However, damage caused by sewer backup is generally not covered unless the backup is directly caused by a flood. D. This exclusion is in place to limit the NFIP's liability to flood-related damages. Specifically, Arizona participates in the NFIP to provide residents with access to affordable flood insurance, but it's important to understand these exclusions to manage expectations and coverage adequately. Question 5. Personal umbrella policy. What is the primary purpose of a personal umbrella policy? A. To provide primary liability coverage. B. To provide additional liability coverage above and beyond the limits of the underlying policies. C. To cover only the insured's automobile liabilities. D. To replace all other personal lines insurance policies. Correct answer. B. To provide additional liability coverage above and beyond the limits of the underlying policies. Explanation. A personal umbrella policy is designed to provide additional liability coverage above and beyond the limits of the insured's underlying policies, such as homeowners, auto or boat insurance. B. It serves as extra protection against large and potentially devastating liability claims or judgments. It does not provide primary coverage. A. Is not limited to automobile liabilities. C. And does not replace other personal lines insurance policies. D. Arizona's insurance guidelines ensure that personal umbrella policies are available to offer this crucial layer of protection to policyholders. Question 6. Inland marine insurance, scenario-based. Mrs. Johnson, an Arizona resident, has an inland marine policy that includes a personal articles floater. While on vacation, her expensive camera is stolen from her hotel room. How will her policy respond? A. The policy will not cover the theft because it occurred outside of Arizona. B. The policy will only cover the theft if she can provide a police report from the location of the theft. C. The policy will cover the theft as inland marine insurance provides worldwide coverage for personal property. D. The policy will cover the theft only if it occurred within her home state. Correct answer. C. The policy will cover the theft as inland marine insurance provides worldwide coverage for personal property. Explanation. Inland marine insurance, specifically through a personal articles floater, typically provides worldwide coverage for specified valuable items, such as cameras, jewelry, and other personal property. Therefore, Mrs. Johnson's camera theft will be covered regardless of where the theft occurred. C. While providing a police report, B. May be required as part of the claims process to substantiate the loss. The key factor is the worldwide coverage aspect of the policy. Arizona's insurance policies align with this general provision to ensure comprehensive protection for personal property even while traveling. Question 7. Health insurance overview. Which of the following is a key feature of a high deductible health pay? Low A premiums and higher deductibles compared to traditional health plans. B. Coverage for preventive services only. C. Limited network of healthcare providers. D. Requirement to use health maintenance organizations HMO. Correct answer. A low premiums and higher deductibles compared to traditional health plans. Explanation. High deductible health plans are characterized by lower premiums and higher deductibles compared to traditional health plans. These plans often pair with health savings accounts HSAS to allow policyholders to save for medical expenses on a tax-advantaged basis. HDHPS are not limited to preventive services. B. Do not necessarily have a limited network of providers. C. And do not require the use of HMOs. D. Arizona regulations and the Affordable Care Act (ACA) support the structure and benefits of HDHPS to provide cost-effective health insurance options. Question 8. Dwelling policy, scenario-based. Mr. Thompson owns a rental property in Arizona and has a E3 dwelling policy. During a wildfire, the property is damaged and Mr. Thompson loses rental income. Which coverages of his policy will respond to these losses? A. Coverage F for property damage and coverage E for rental income loss. B. Coverage B for property damage and coverage D for rental income loss. C. Coverage F for property damage and coverage D for rental income loss. D. Coverage C for property damage and coverage E for rental income loss. Correct answer. C. Coverage F for property damage and coverage D for rental income loss. Explanation. A D3 dwelling policy is an open peril policy providing broad coverage. Coverage D dwelling will cover the property damage due to the wildfire. Coverage D fair rental value will cover the rental income loss while the property is uninhabitable due to a covered peril. Coverage B, other structures, covers detached structures, and coverage C, personal property, covers the policyholder's personal property. Coverage E, additional living expense, covers expenses if the policyholder must live elsewhere, but doesn't apply to rental income loss. Arizona's insurance laws ensure that dwelling policies provide these specific coverages to protect landlords from property and income loss. Question 9. Insurance regulation. Which of the following is the primary function of the Arizona Department of Insurance? A. To sell insurance policies directly to consumers. B. To represent insurance companies in legal disputes. C. To regulate and oversee the insurance industry within the state. D. To provide financial advice to policyholders. Correct answer. C. To regulate and oversee the insurance industry within the state. Explanation. The primary function of the Arizona Department of Insurance is to regulate and oversee the insurance industry within the state. C. This includes licensing insurance companies and agents, ensuring compliance with state insurance laws, protecting consumer rights, and maintaining the financial stability of the insurance market. The department does not sell insurance policies. A. Represent insurance companies in dispute. B. Or provide financial advice to policyholders. D. Arizona Revised Statutes Rs. Title 20 outlines these responsibilities to ensure a fair and efficient insurance marketplace. Question 10. Ethics in insurance. Which of the following actions is considered an unethical practice for an insurance agent in Arizona? A. Misrepresenting the terms of a policy to a client. B. Accurately explaining policy exclusions to a client. C. Recommending a suitable policy based on the client's needs. D. Complying with continuing education requirements. Correct answer: a misrepresenting the terms of a policy to a client. Explanation: misrepresenting the terms of a policy to a client is considered an unethical practice for an insurance agent. This includes providing false information, omitting important details, or otherwise misleading the client about what the policy covers. Such actions can lead to regulatory sanctions and legal consequences. Ethical conduct in insurance requires agents to be truthful and transparent, C, and to comply with professional standards and continuing education requirements. D. Arizona Revised Statutes Title 20, Chapter 2, Article 1 specifically addresses the ethical obligations and standards for insurance agents to protect consumers and maintain industry integrity. Question 11. Watercraft insurance, scenario-based. Garcia owns a boat and has a comprehensive watercraft insurance policy in Arizona. While navigating in local waters, she accidentally collides with another vessel, causing damage to both boats and injuring a passenger on the other boat. Which parts of her policy will likely respond to these losses? A. Liability coverage for both property damage and bodily injury. B. Physical damage coverage for her boat and medical payments coverage for the injured passenger. C. Uninsured boaters coverage for both boats and liability coverage for the passenger's injuries. D. Liability coverage for both property damage and bodily injury and physical damage coverage for her boat. Correct answer: D. Liability coverage for both property damage and bodily injury and physical damage coverage for her boat. Explanation: in this scenario, Ms. Garcia's watercraft insurance policy will respond with liability coverage for the property damage to the other vessel and the bodily injury to the passenger. D. Additionally, her policy's physical damage coverage will cover the damage to her own boat. Liability coverage addresses third-party claims, while physical damage coverage pertains to the insured's own vessel. Uninsured boaters coverage, C, would not apply here since the incident involves her own insured vessel. Arizona's watercraft insurance policies are designed to provide these coverages to protect boat owners from various risks on the water. Question 12. Claims handling. During the claims process, what is the primary responsibility of an insurance adjuster in Arizona? A. To investigate, evaluate, and negotiate the settlement of claims. B. To provide legal representation for the insured. C. To sell additional policies to the insured. D. To manage the insurer's financial investments. Correct answer: to investigate, evaluate, and negotiate the settlement of claims. Explanation: the primary responsibility of an insurance adjuster is to investigate, evaluate, and negotiate the settlement of claims. This involves determining the extent of the insurer's liability, assessing damages, and ensuring that claims are handled fairly and promptly. Adjusters do not provide legal representation. B. Sell policies. C. Or manage financial investments. D. Arizona regulations under the Arizona Revised Statutes Title 20, Chapter 2, Article 1 require adjusters to act in good faith and adhere to ethical standards throughout the claims process to protect the interests of both the insurer and the insured. Question 13. Personal liability insurance. Which of the following is typically excluded under a personal liability insurance policy in Arizona? A. Legal defense costs for a liability claim. B. Intentional acts causing harm. C. Liability arising from a pet causing injury. D. Liability for accidental damage to someone else's property. Correct answer: B. Intentional acts causing harm. Explanation: personal liability insurance typically excludes coverage for intentional acts causing harm. B. This exclusion ensures that policyholders cannot receive benefits for deliberately harmful actions. Legal defense costs are usually covered, as well as liabilities arising from pets. C. An accidental damage to others' property. D. Arizona insurance laws support these exclusions to prevent misuse of liability coverage and encourage responsible behavior among policyholders. Question 14. Earthquake insurance, scenario-based. Mr. Evans, a homeowner in Arizona, has an earthquake insurance endorsement on his homeowner's policy. After a minor earthquake, he discovers cracks in his foundation and walls. What should Mr. Evans do to ensure his claim is handled properly? A. Ignore the damage since minor earthquakes are not covered. B. Report the damage to his insurer immediately and document the damage with photos. C. Wait until more significant damage occurs to report it. D. Repair the damage himself and then file a claim for reimbursement. Correct answer. B. Report the damage to his insurer immediately and document the damage with photos. Explanation. Mr. Evans should report the damage to his insurer immediately and document the damage with photos. B. Prompt reporting and thorough documentation are crucial for ensuring that the claim is processed efficiently and fairly. Ignoring the damage, A, or waiting for more significant damage, C, could result in claim denial or further complications. Repairing the damage himself, D, without prior approval from the insurer may also lead to claim denial. Arizona regulations and standard insurance practices require timely reporting and proper documentation to support the claims process. Question 15. Inland marine insurance. Which type of property is most likely to be covered under a personal articles floater in Arizona? A. A primary residence. B. A commercial building. C. A valuable piece of jewelry. D. A family car. Correct answer. C. A valuable piece of jewelry. Explanation. A personal articles floater is designed to provide coverage for high-value personal items such as jewelry, fine art, and collectibles. C. This type of policy offers broader protection and higher limits than standard homeowners policies for these specific items. A primary residence A and commercial building B are typically covered under homeowners and commercial property policies, respectively. A family car D is covered under an auto insurance policy. Arizona insurance regulations allow for personal articles floaters to ensure that valuable personal property receives adequate coverage. Question 16. Personal auto policy PAP. Under personal auto policy PAP in Arizona, which of the following situations would likely be covered under uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage? A. Damage to your vehicle from hitting a tree. B. Medical expenses incurred when you are hit by an uninsured driver while walking. C. Theft of your vehicle. D. Mechanical breakdown of your vehicle. Correct answer. B. Medical expenses incurred when you are hit by an uninsured driver while walking. Explanation. Uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage provides protection for bodily injury and, in some cases, property damage when an insured person is hit by a driver who has no insurance or insufficient insurance. B. This coverage can apply even if the insured is not in their vehicle, such as being hit while walking. Damage from hitting a tree A would be covered under collision coverage. Theft of the vehicle C under comprehensive coverage, and mechanical breakdown D is not typically covered under standard auto policies. Arizona revised statutes Title 20 mandates that insurers offer uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage to protect policyholders in these scenarios. Question 17. Homeowners insurance. Which of the following perils is generally excluded from coverage under a standard homeowners insurance policy in Arizona? A. Fire. B. Theft. C. Earthquake. D. Vandalism. Correct answer. C. Earthquake. Explanation. Standard homeowners insurance policies typically exclude coverage for earthquakes. C. Homeowners need to purchase a separate earthquake insurance endorsement to cover damages from seismic events. Fire A, theft B, and vandalism D are commonly covered perils under standard policies. Arizona's insurance market follows these general exclusions and endorsements to ensure homeowners are aware of the need for additional coverage for specific risks. Question 18. Insurance principles and concepts, scenario-based. Mrs. Parker, an Arizona resident, has a HO5 homeowners policy. After a windstorm, a tree falls on her detached garage, causing significant damage. Which coverages in her policy will respond to this loss? A. Coverage A for the detached garage and coverage B for the personal property inside. B. Coverage B for the detached garage and coverage C for the personal property inside. C. Coverage for both the detached garage and the personal property inside. D. Coverage D for the detached garage and coverage C for the personal property inside. Correct answer B. Coverage B for the detached garage and coverage C for the personal property inside. Explanation: an HO5 homeowners policy provides coverage B other structures for damage to detached structures like a garage, and coverage C personal property for the personal property inside the garage B. Coverage D as welling applies to the main structure of the home, while coverage D, loss of use, covers additional living expenses if the home is uninhabitable. Arizona homeowners policies include these standard coverages to ensure comprehensive protection for various parts of the property. Question 19. Inland marine insurance. Which of the following best describes a personal property floater in inland marine insurance? A. Coverage for buildings and other structures on the insured's property. B. Coverage for personal items of high value, such as jewelry and electronics that are frequently moved. C. Coverage for livestock and agricultural equipment. D. Coverage for damages caused by flood. Correct answer B. Coverage for personal items of high value, such as jewelry and electronics that are frequently moved. Explanation: a personal property floater in inland marine insurance covers personal items of high value, such as jewelry, electronics, and collectibles, which are frequently moved and not tied to a fixed location. B. This type of coverage is designed to protect items that may not be adequately covered under a standard homeowners policy. Coverage for buildings and structures A. Falls under property insurance, livestock and agricultural equipment. C. Are covered under farm insurance and damages caused by flood. D. Are covered by flood insurance. Arizona insurance policies adhere to these definitions to provide appropriate coverage for movable personal property. Question 20. Insurance regulation. Which entity is responsible for developing model laws and regulations for state insurance departments in the United States? A. Federal Insurance Office, FIO. B. National Association of Insurance Commissioners, NAIC. C. Insurance Information Institute, OMITH. D. Arizona Department of Insurance and Financial Institutions, DIFI. Correct answer B. National Association of Insurance Commissioners, NAIC. Explanation: the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, NAIC, is responsible for developing model laws and regulations to assist state insurance departments in the United States. B. The NAIC creates standardized regulatory frameworks to ensure consistency and uniformity across states. The Federal Insurance Office A. focuses on federal insurance policy. The Insurance Information Institute C. provides information and analysis to the industry and the Arizona Department of Insurance and Financial Institutions. D. regulates insurance specifically within Arizona. These entities collaborate to maintain a stable and effective insurance regulatory environment. Question 21. Claims handling scenario based. Mr. Ramirez, an Arizona resident, has a homeowner's insurance policy. And after a severe hailstorm, his roof is damaged. He contacts his insurer to file a claim. What steps should Mr. Ramirez expect the claims adjuster to take to handle his claim? A. Investigate the damage, evaluate the extent of the loss, and negotiate the settlement. B. Repair the damage directly without any assessment. C. Deny the claim without inspection. D. Refer Mr. Ramirez to a private contractor for repair at his own expense. Correct answer A. Investigate the damage, evaluate the extent of the loss, and negotiate the settlement. Explanation: in handling Mr. Ramirez's claim, the claims adjuster will investigate the damage, evaluate the extent of the loss, and negotiate the settlement. This process involves inspecting the damaged property, determining the cause and scope of the damage, and calculating the appropriate compensation based on the policy terms. The adjuster does not repair the damage directly. B. Deny the claim without inspection. C. Or refer the insured to a private contractor without providing coverage. D. Arizona insurance regulations ensure that claims adjusters follow these procedures to handle claims fairly and efficiently. Question 22. Personal umbrella policy. Which of the following is a key feature of a personal umbrella policy in Arizona? A. Provides primary coverage for personal auto and homeowners risks. B. Provides additional liability coverage above the limits of underlying policies. C. Covers only the insured's home and auto liabilities. D. Includes coverage for routine maintenance of the insured's property. Kiernesner. Correct answer B. provides additional liability coverage above the limits of underlying policies. Explanation: a personal umbrella policy provides additional liability coverage above the limits of the insured's underlying policies, such as homeowners and auto insurance. B. This type of policy is designed to offer broader protection against large and potentially catastrophic liability claims. It does not provide primary coverage. It is not limited to home and auto liabilities. C. And does not cover routine maintenance. D. Arizona's insurance regulations support the use of umbrella policies to ensure adequate liability protection for policyholders. Question 23. Flood insurance, scenario-based. Mr. Taylor, an Arizona resident, has a national flood insurance program NFIP policy for his home. After a significant flood, his basement is inundated with water, damaging his personal property stored there. How will his NFIP policy respond? A. The policy will cover all damages, including those in the basement, without limitations. B. The policy will cover structural damage to the basement, but may have limited or no coverage for personal property stored there. C. The policy will not cover any damages related to flooding in the basement. D. The policy will cover personal property, but not structural damage in the basement. Correct answer: B. The policy will cover structural damage to the basement but may have limited or no coverage for personal property stored there. Explanation: under the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP coverage for structural damage to the basement is typically provided. B. However, there are limitations on coverage for personal property stored in basements, which may include exclusions or reduced limits for items such as personal belongings, furniture, and electronics. Arizona residents with NFIP policies should be aware of these limitations and consider additional coverage if necessary. The NFIP is designed to provide essential flood coverage but does have specific exclusions and limitations to manage risk and liability. Question 24. Insurance principles and concepts. Which principle of insurance ensures that an insured cannot recover more than the actual financial loss sustained? A. Insurable interest. B. Utmost good faith. C. Indemnity. D. Subrogation. Correct answer: C. Indemnity. Explanation: the principle of indemnity ensures that an insured cannot recover more than the actual financial loss sustained. C. This principle is fundamental in preventing the insured from profiting from a loss and maintains the insurance policy's role in making the insured whole again. Insurable interest. A. Requires that the insured has a financial stake in the property or person insured. Utmost good faith. B. Involves full disclosure of all material facts between the insurer and the insured. And subrogation. D. Allows the insurer to pursue a third party responsible for the loss after paying the insured's claim. Arizona insurance policies adhere to these principles to ensure fairness and equity in insurance transactions. Question 25. Homeowners insurance. Under a standard homeowners insurance policy in Arizona, which of the following types of water damage is typically excluded from coverage? A. Water damage from a burst pipe. B. Water damage from flooding. C. Water damage from a malfunctioning dishwasher. D. Water damage from a leaking roof after a storm. Correct answer: B. Water damage from flooding. Explanation: standard homeowners insurance policies typically exclude coverage for water damage caused by flooding. B. Flooding is considered a separate peril that requires a specific flood insurance policy, often provided through the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP). Water damage from a burst pipe, a malfunctioning dishwasher. C. And a leaking roof after a storm. D. Are generally covered under a standard homeowners insurance policy, provided that the damage was sudden and accidental. Arizona homeowners should be aware of the need for separate flood insurance to protect against flood-related losses. Question 26. Personal auto policy, scenario-based. MS Lee, an Arizona resident, has a personal auto policy with comprehensive and collision coverage. Her car is stolen and it is later found with significant damage from vandalism. Which parts of her policy will respond to these losses? A. Liability coverage for the theft and medical payments coverage for the vandalism. B. Comprehensive coverage for both the theft and the vandalism damage. C. Collision coverage for the theft and uninsured motorist coverage for the vandalism damage. D. Comprehensive coverage for the theft and collision coverage for the vandalism damage. Correct answer: B. Comprehensive coverage for both the theft and the vandalism damage. Explanation: MS Lee's personal auto policy with comprehensive coverage will cover both the theft and the vandalism damage. B. Comprehensive coverage protects against non-collision related incidents such as theft, vandalism, fire, and natural disasters. Liability coverage and medical payments coverage do not apply to theft or vandalism. Collision coverage (CD) applies to damage from accidents involving other vehicles or objects, and uninsured motorist coverage (C) addresses incidents involving uninsured drivers. Arizona residents with comprehensive coverage are protected against a wide range of risks, including theft and vandalism. Question 27. Insurance regulation. What is the primary purpose of the Arizona Guarantee Fund? A. To provide financial advice to policyholders. B. To offer discounts on insurance premiums. C. To protect policyholders if their insurance company becomes insolvent. D. To regulate the insurance rates charged by companies. Correct answer: C. To protect policyholders if their insurance company becomes insolvent. Explanation: the primary purpose of the Arizona Guarantee Fund is to protect policyholders if their insurance company becomes insolvent. C. This fund ensures that claims are paid and coverage continues even if the insurer cannot meet its financial obligations. The Guarantee Fund does not provide financial advice, A. Offer discounts on premiums, B. Or regulate insurance rates, D. Arizona's insurance regulations establish the Guarantee Fund to maintain consumer confidence and stability in the insurance market, providing a safety net for policyholders affected by insurer insolvency. Question 28. Personal auto policy PAP. Which of the following is true regarding the medical payments coverage? Part B, under personal auto policy in Arizona. A. It covers medical expenses for the insured and passengers regardless of fault. B. It covers medical expenses only if the insured is at fault. C. It covers medical expenses for third parties that are outside the insured vehicle. D. It covers lost wages due to an auto accident. Correct answer: A. It covers medical expenses for the insured and passengers, regardless of fault. Explanation: medical payments coverage, Part B, under personal auto policy covers medical expenses for the insured and passengers in the insured vehicle, regardless of fault. This coverage applies to medical and funeral expenses resulting from an auto accident. It does not require the insured to be at fault. B. And does not cover medical expenses for third parties outside the insured vehicle. C. Lost wages due to an auto accident are typically covered under personal injury protection, PIP, or another type of coverage, not medical payments coverage. D. Arizona insurance policies include medical payments coverage to ensure immediate medical expense coverage for insured drivers and their passengers. Question 29. Dwelling policy scenario based. Mr. Thompson, an Arizona resident, has a E3 dwelling policy that after a covered fire his rental property is partially damaged and he loses rental income while repairs are made. Which parts of his policy will respond to these losses? A. Coverage A for the dwelling damage and coverage D for the lost rental income. B. Coverage B for the dwelling damage and coverage E for the lost rental income. C. Coverage C for the dwelling damage and coverage for the lost rental income. D. Coverage E for the dwelling damage and coverage C for the lost rental income. Correct answer: A. Coverage E for the dwelling damage and coverage D for the lost rental income. Explanation: under D3 dwelling policy, covered as dwelling covers the damage to the rental property, and coverage D, fair rental value, covers the lost rental income while repairs are being made. Coverage B typically covers other structures on the property. Coverage C covers personal property, and coverage E, additional living expenses, applies to the insured's living expenses if the property is uninhabitable. Arizona residents with a E3 policy can rely on these coverages to protect against both property damage and loss of rental income due to covered perils. Question 30. Inland marine insurance. Which of the following is most likely to be covered under a personal articles floater in inland marine insurance in Arizona? A. A residential property. B. A valuable piece of artwork. C. A commercial office building. D. A family car. Correct answer: B. A valuable piece of artwork. Explanation: a personal articles floater in inland marine insurance is designed to cover valuable personal items such as artwork, jewelry, and collectibles. B. This type of policy provides broader protection and higher limits for specific high-value items that may not be fully covered under standard homeowners policies. Residential properties A. are covered under homeowners insurance, commercial office buildings, C. under commercial property insurance, and family cars D. Under auto insurance, Arizona insurance policies provide personal articles floaters to ensure adequate coverage for valuable personal property. Question 31. Flood insurance. Under the National Flood Insurance Program NFIP in Arizona, which of the following would typically be covered? A. Damage to the building structure caused by a flood. B. Damage to landscaping and swimming pools. C. Additional living expenses due to temporary relocation. D. Loss of income due to business interruption. Correct answer A. Damage to the building structure caused by a flood. Explanation. The National Flood Insurance Program NFIP typically covers damage to the building structure caused by a flood. This includes structural elements such as walls, floors, and foundations. Landscaping and swimming pools. B. Additional living expenses. C. And loss of income due to business interruption. D. Are not covered under standard NFIP policies. Arizona residents who need coverage for these items should seek additional insurance options or endorsements. NFIP policies are designed to provide essential coverage for flood-related damage to buildings and personal property. Question 32. Personal umbrella policy scenario-based. Mrs. Williams, an Arizona resident, has a personal umbrella policy with a $1 million limit. After an accident where she was found liable, her underlying auto insurance paid out its policy limit of $250,000, but the total judgment was $1 million. How much will her personal umbrella policy pay? A. $750,000. B. $1 million. C. $250,000. D. $750,000 minus any applicable deductible. Correct answer D. $750,000 minus any applicable deductible. Explanation. Mrs. Williams' personal umbrella policy will pay the remaining amount of the judgment after her underlying auto insurance has paid its limit, which is $750,000 minus any applicable deductible. D. Personal umbrella policies provide additional liability coverage above the limits of the insured's underlying policies, ensuring comprehensive protection against large claims. The policy will not cover the entire judgment amount. B. Since her underlying insurance already covered $250,000, and it will not only cover the same amount as the underlying policies. C. Arizona residents benefit from umbrella policies by receiving excess liability coverage that extends beyond their primary insurance limits. Question 33. Ethics in insurance. Which of the following practices would be considered unethical and potentially illegal for an insurance agent in Arizona? A. Providing clients with information about multiple insurance products. B. Misrepresenting policy terms to make a sale. C. Assisting clients in filing claims. D. Advising clients to purchase adequate coverage for their needs. Correct answer B. Misrepresenting policy terms to make a sale. Explanation. Misrepresenting policy terms to make a sale. B. Is considered unethical and potentially illegal for an insurance agent. This practice violates the principles of utmost good faith and can lead to severe consequences, including license revocation and legal penalties. Providing clients with information about multiple products. A. Assisting clients in filing claims. C. And advising clients to purchase adequate coverage. D. Are ethical practices that help ensure clients make informed decisions. Arizona's insurance regulations and ethical standards aim to protect consumers from deceptive practices and ensure agents act in the best interests of their clients. Question 34. Health insurance overview. Under the Affordable Care Act, which of the following is true regarding pre-existing conditions for individual health insurance plans in Arizona? A. Pre-existing conditions are excluded from coverage for the first 12 months. B. Pre-existing conditions are only covered with a higher premium. C. Pre-existing conditions must be covered without exclusion or additional premium. D. Pre-existing conditions are covered only if the individual had prior continuous coverage. Correct answer C. Pre-existing conditions must be covered without exclusion or additional premium. Explanation. Under the Affordable Care Act, insurers are required to cover pre-existing conditions without exclusions or additional premiums. C. This means that health insurance plans cannot deny coverage or charge high premiums based on an individual's health history. Options A, B, and D do not comply with the ACA regulations. This rule applies to individual health insurance plans in Arizona and across the United States, ensuring that everyone has access to necessary medical care regardless of their medical history. Question 35. Personal liability insurance. Which of the following situations would be covered under personal liability insurance in a standard homeowner's policy in Arizona? A. Damage to the insured's own property. B. Injury to a guest who slips and falls on the insured's property. C. Medical expenses for the insured's family members. D. Damage to the insured's car parked in the driveway. Correct answer: B. Injury to a guest who slips and falls on the insured's property. Explanation: personal liability insurance in a standard homeowner's policy covers injury to guests who slip and fall on the insured's property. B. It provides coverage for bodily injury and property damage that the insured is legally responsible for. Damage to the insured's own property A and car D would be covered under other sections of the homeowner's or auto policy, and medical expenses for the insured's family members C are typically not covered under personal liability insurance. Arizona homeowners policies include personal liability coverage to protect against third-party claims for injuries or property damage. Question 36. Emerging issues in personal lines insurance, scenario-based. Mr. Johnson, an Arizona resident, uses a telematics device provided by his auto insurer to monitor his driving habits. After a year, he receives a notice of premium adjustment. Which of the following best explains the likely outcome? A. His premium remains unchanged regardless of driving habits. B. His premium may decrease if the data shows safe driving habits. C. His premium is automatically increased due to privacy concerns. D. His premium is increased due to high mileage recorded. Correct answer: B. His premium may decrease if the data shows safe driving habits. Explanation: telematics devices monitor driving habits, and insurers may adjust premiums based on the collected data. If Mr. Johnson's driving habits are safe, his premium may decrease. B. This usage-based insurance model rewards safe drivers with low premiums. Premiums do not remain unchanged regardless of driving habits A, and they are not automatically increased due to privacy concerns C, or high mileage alone. D. Arizona residents using telematics can benefit from potentially lower premiums by demonstrating safe driving behavior. Telematics is an emerging trend that allows insurers to tailor premiums more accurately to individual risk profiles. Question 37. Earthquake insurance. Which of the following is true regarding the deductibles for earthquake insurance in Arizona? A. Deductibles are usually a percentage of the insured property's value. B. Deductibles are a flat dollar amount like standard homeowners insurance. C. There are no deductibles for earthquake insurance. D. Deductibles are based on the cost of the insurance premium. Correct answer: A. Deductibles are usually a percentage of the insured property's value. Explanation: deductibles for earthquake insurance are typically a percentage of the insured property's value. This means that the deductible amount will vary depending on the total value of the property insured. Unlike standard homeowners insurance, which often uses a flat dollar amount for deductibles, earthquake insurance uses a percentage to account for the potentially higher costs of earthquake-related claims. There are deductibles for earthquake insurance C, and they are not based on the cost of the insurance premium. D. Arizona residents with earthquake insurance should be aware of how these deductibles are calculated to understand their financial responsibility in the event of an earthquake. Question 38. Watercraft insurance, scenario-based MS. Garcia, an Arizona resident, has a watercraft insurance policy that includes liability coverage. While operating a boat, she accidentally causes damage to another vessel. How will her policy respond? A. Her policy will cover the damage to her own boat only. B. Her policy will cover the damage to the other vessel. C. Her policy will deny the claim because it only covers bodily injury. D. Her policy will cover only the legal defense costs, not the actual damage. Correct answer: B. Her policy will cover the damage to the other vessel. Explanation: Miss Garcia's watercraft insurance policy with liability coverage will cover the damage to the other vessel. B. Liability coverage in watercraft insurance is designed to protect the insured against claims for bodily injury and property damage they are responsible for while operating the insured watercraft. It will not cover damage to her own boat, as that would typically fall under physical damage coverage. Liability coverage is not limited to bodily injury claims, C, and it covers both legal defense costs and the actual damage, D. Arizona watercraft insurance policies provide this essential protection to ensure that boaters are financially covered in the event of an accident. Question 39. Insurance principles and concepts. What does the principle of utmost good faith require from both the insurer and the insured in Arizona? A. The insurer must pay all claims regardless of circumstances. B. Both parties must act honestly and disclose all material facts. C. The insured can hide certain information if it lowers the premium. D. Only the insurer is required to disclose all policy details. Correct answer. B. Both parties must act honestly and disclose all material facts. Explanation. The principle of utmost good faith requires both the insurer and the insured to act honestly and disclose all material facts. B. This principle is fundamental in the insurance contract, ensuring that both parties provide complete and accurate information. It obligates the insured to disclose all relevant information that could affect the insurer's decision to provide coverage, and the insurer must fully disclose the terms, conditions, and exclusions of the policy. The insurer is not obligated to pay all claims regardless of circumstances, and the insured cannot hide information to manipulate premiums. C. Both parties share the responsibility for transparency, not just the insurer. D. This principle is crucial in maintaining trust and fairness in insurance transactions in Arizona. Question 40. Insurance principles and concepts in Arizona. Which principle of insurance prevents the insured from profiting from a loss? A. Subrogation. B. Indemnity. C. Insurable interest. D. Utmost good faith. Correct answer. B. Indemnity. Explanation. The principle of indemnity ensures that an insured is compensated for their loss but does not profit from it. B. This principle is fundamental in insurance contracts, as it ensures the insured is restored to the same financial position they were in before the loss occurred. Subrogation. A. Allows the insurer to recover the amount paid for a loss from a third party that caused the loss. Insurable interest. C. Requires the insured to have a financial interest in the subject of the insurance and utmost good faith. D. Mandates honest and full disclosure of all relevant information by both parties. Indemnity prevents overcompensation and maintains the purpose of insurance as a risk management tool rather than a profit-making mechanism. Question 41. Homeowners insurance. Scenario-based. Mr. and Mrs. Anderson, Arizona residents have a standard homeowners insurance policy. During a severe storm, a tree falls on their home, causing significant damage to the roof and interior. Which coverage part of their policy will respond to this loss? State coverage. B. Other structures. B. Coverage dwelling. C. Coverage. C. Personal property. D. Coverage. D. Loss of use. Correct answer. B. Coverage dwelling. Explanation. Coverage. Dwelling in a standard homeowner's insurance policy covers the physical structure of the home, including damage to the roof and interior caused by a falling tree during a storm. B. Coverage. B. Pertains to other structures on the property, such as detached garages or sheds. Coverage. C. C. Covers personal property, and coverage. D. D. Addresses additional living expenses if the home is uninhabitable. Arizona homeowners should ensure they have adequate coverage to protect against significant structural damage resulting from various perils, including severe storms. Question 42. Personal auto policy PAP. Which of the following statements is true regarding uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage? Part C, under personal auto policy in Arizona. A. It covers property damage to the insured's vehicle caused by an uninsured driver. B. It covers medical expenses for the insured regardless of who is at fault. C. It covers bodily injury to the insured caused by an uninsured or underinsured driver. D. It covers damage to the insured's vehicle from a hit-and-run incident. Correct answer. C. It covers bodily injury to the insured caused by an uninsured or underinsured driver. Explanation. Uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. Part C, under personal auto policy, covers bodily injury to the insured caused by an uninsured or underinsured driver. C. This coverage ensures that the insured can receive compensation for medical expenses, lost wages, and other damages resulting from an accident caused by a driver with insufficient or no insurance. It does not cover property damage to the insured's vehicle A, which would require uninsured motorist property damage coverage if available in the state. Medical expenses for the insured regardless of fault are covered under Medical Payments Coverage Part B, while some uninsured and underinsured motorist coverages include hit-and-run incidents. It primarily focuses on bodily injury protection. Arizona drivers should consider this coverage to safeguard against drivers who lack adequate insurance. Question 43. Claims handling. Which of the following is a common reason an insurance claim might be denied under a homeowner's policy in Arizona? A. The damage was caused by wear and tear. B. The damage was sudden and accidental. C. The policyholder promptly reported the loss. D. The loss was due to a covered peril. Correct answer A. The damage was caused by wear and tear. Explanation. Insurance claims under homeowners' policies are often denied if the damage is caused by wear and tear, which is typically excluded from coverage. Homeowners insurance is designed to cover sudden and accidental damage resulting from covered perils, such as fire, theft, or storms. Therefore, if the damage is gradual and due to regular wear and tear, it will not be covered. In contrast, sudden and accidental damage, B. Prompt reporting of the loss, C. And losses due to covered perils, D. Generally meet the criteria for a valid claim. Arizona homeowners should maintain their property to prevent wear and tear, as these types of damages are usually not insurable. Question 44. Flood insurance. Scenario-based. MS. Lopez, an Arizona resident, has a flood insurance policy through the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP. A flood severely damages her basement, including her furnace and personal belongings stored there. Which of the following is true regarding her coverage? A. The policy will cover the cost to replace her personal belongings, but not the furnace. B. The policy will cover the cost to replace the furnace but not the personal belongings. C. The policy will not cover any damages in the basement. D. The policy will cover the furnace but only limited coverage for personal belongings in the basement. Correct answer. D. The policy will cover the furnace but only limited coverage for personal belongings in the basement. Explanation. Under the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, coverage for items in the basement is limited. While the policy will cover essential equipment such as a furnace, D. Coverage for personal belongings stored in the basement is limited. Typically, coverage includes items necessary for the functioning of the building, like heating and cooling systems, but excludes or limits personal property and finishes such as furniture, clothing, and electronics. MS. Lopez should review her flood policy to understand the specific limitations and exclusions. In Arizona, residents with basements should consider these coverage limitations when storing personal property. Question 45. Personal umbrella policy. What is the primary purpose of a personal umbrella policy in Arizona? A. To provide coverage for physical damage to the insured's property. B. To replace standard homeowners and auto insurance policies. C. To provide additional liability coverage above existing policies. D. To cover routine medical expenses for the insured. Correct answer. C. To provide additional liability coverage above existing policies. Explanation. The primary purpose of a personal umbrella policy is to provide additional liability coverage above the limits of the insured's existing homeowners, auto, and other primary insurance policies. C. This policy helps protect against large and potentially devastating liability claims or judgments that exceed the limits of the underlying policies. It does not cover physical damage to the insured's property or routine medical expenses. D. And it does not replace standard insurance policies. B. Instead, it serves as an extra layer of protection for significant liability risks. Arizona residents should consider a personal umbrella policy to safeguard their assets and future earnings against large liability claims. Question 46. Inland marine insurance. Which of the following types of property would most likely be covered under an inland marine insurance policy in Arizona? A residential home and its contents. B. A valuable painting while being transported to an art gallery. C. Damage to a car during a flood. D. Personal liability for injury to a guest. Correct answer. B. A valuable painting while being transported to an art gallery. Explanation. Inland marine insurance typically covers property that is in transit or movable, as well as specialized types of property with high value. A valuable painting being transported to an art gallery B is a prime example of the type of property that inland marine insurance would cover. This insurance does not cover residential homes and their contents, which are covered under homeowners insurance. Damage to a car during a flood C would fall under auto insurance, and personal liability for injury to a guest D would be covered under homeowners or personal liability policy. Inland marine insurance is essential for protecting high-value, mobile items that are not adequately covered by standard property policies in Arizona. Question 47. Homeowners insurance. Scenario-based. Mr. Smith, an Arizona resident, has a standard homeowner's insurance policy. During a windstorm, a tree from his neighbor's yard falls and damages his roof. Who's typically responsible for the cost of repairs under standard insurance practices? A. Mr. Smith's neighbor, since it was a tree. B. Mr. Smith, through his own homeowner's insurance policy. C. The neighbor's insurance company, regardless of the circumstances. D. Both Mr. Smith and his neighbor share the cost equally. Correct answer. B. Mr. Smith, through his own homeowner's insurance policy. Explanation. Under standard insurance practices, Mr. Smith would be responsible for the cost of repairs through his own homeowner's insurance policy. B. Homeowner's insurance typically covers damage to the insured property, regardless of the origin of the falling tree, as long as the damage is caused by a covered peril such as windstorm. The neighbor is not automatically responsible, unless there is evidence of negligence, such as the neighbor knowing the tree was diseased and failing to address it. The neighbor's insurance company is not liable by default. C. And costs are not shared equally. D. Arizona homeowners should ensure their policies cover such events to avoid unexpected out-of-pocket expenses. Question 48. Personal auto policy PAP. Under personal auto policy PAP in Arizona, which coverage part would pay for injuries sustained by the insured and their passengers in an at-fault accident. A. Part liability coverage. B. Part B. Medical payments coverage. C. Part C. Uninsured underinsured motorist coverage. D. Part D. Coverage for damage to your auto. Correct answer. B. Part B. Medical payments coverage. Explanation. Part B. Medical payments coverage under personal auto policy PAP pays for medical expenses incurred by the insured and their passengers in an at-fault accident. B. This coverage applies regardless of who is at fault and helps cover medical and funeral expenses resulting from an auto accident. Part liability coverage pays for bodily injury and property damage the insured is legally responsible for to others. Part C. Uninsured underinsured motorist coverage. C. Covers injuries when the at-fault driver has insufficient or no insurance. Part D. Coverage for damage to your auto. D. Covers physical damage to the insured's vehicle. Arizona drivers should ensure they have adequate medical payments coverage to address potential medical expenses after an accident. Question 49. Personal umbrella policy. Which of the following is a typical condition for activating a personal umbrella policy in Arizona? A. The insured must have a claim for property damage exceeding $10,000. B. The underlying policy limits must be exhausted. C. The insured must file a lawsuit to access coverage. D. The insured must have a medical expense claim. Correct answer. B. The underlying policy limits must be exhausted. Explanation. A personal umbrella policy typically activates once the limits of the underlying policies, such as homeowners or auto insurance, are exhausted. B. This type of policy provides additional liability coverage above and beyond the limits of the insured's primary policies, offering extra protection against significant claims or lawsuits. It does not activate based solely on property damage claims. A. Or the necessity of filing a lawsuit. C. Medical expense claims. D. Are usually covered under the underlying health or auto policies before the umbrella policy kicks in. Arizona residents can benefit from the added protection of an umbrella policy to cover large liability exposures. Question 50. Flood insurance. Which of the following best describes the increased cost of compliance, like coverage in a national flood insurance program and FIP policy in Arizona? A. Coverage for personal property damaged by a flood. B. Coverage for additional living expenses while the home is being repaired. C. Coverage for the cost of bringing the insured building into compliance with floodplain management laws. D. Coverage for the cost to replace damaged landscaping. Correct answer. C. Coverage for the cost of bringing the insured building into compliance with floodplain management laws. Explanation: the increased cost of compliance, like coverage in a national flood insurance program, NFIP policy provides coverage for the cost of bringing the insured building into compliance with floodplain management laws. C. This includes the costs associated with elevating, floodproofing, relocating, or demolishing a building after a flood if it has been declared substantially damaged or repeatedly flooded. ICC does not cover personal property damage. A. Additional living expenses. B. Or landscaping. D. Arizona residents with flood insurance should be aware of this coverage to help mitigate future flood risks and comply with local floodplain regulations. Question 51. Insurance regulation. In Arizona, what is the purpose of the Arizona Department of Insurance and Financial Institutions, DIFI? A. To regulate and supervise the insurance industry to protect consumers. B. To set insurance premium rates for all policies. C. To provide legal representation for insurance companies in court. D. To offer insurance policies directly to consumers. Correct answer: A. To regulate and supervise the insurance industry to protect consumers. Explanation: the Arizona Department of Insurance and Financial Institutions, DIFI, regulates and supervises the insurance industry to protect consumers. Its responsibilities include ensuring that insurance companies comply with state laws and regulations, monitoring the financial solvency of insurers, licensing insurance agents and brokers, and addressing consumer complaints and inquiries. The DIFI does not set insurance premium rates for all policies. B. Provide legal representation for insurance companies. C. Or offer insurance policies directly to consumers. D. The DIFI's oversight helps maintain a fair and stable insurance market in Arizona, ensuring that consumers receive reliable coverage and protection. Question 52. Health insurance overview. In Arizona, what is a distinguishing feature of a high-deductible health per AHP compared to other health insurance plans? A. It has higher out-of-pocket costs before insurance coverage begins. B. It offers more comprehensive coverage with lower premiums. C. It provides coverage only for catastrophic events. D. It includes mandatory dental and vision coverage. Correct answer: A. It has higher out-of-pocket costs before insurance coverage begins. Explanation: a high-deductible health AHP has higher out-of-pocket costs before insurance coverage begins. This type of plan typically features lower premiums compared to other health insurance plans, making it an attractive option for individuals who are generally healthy and do not anticipate frequent medical expenses. HDHPS are often paired with health savings accounts, HSAS, to help cover the high deductible. These plans do not necessarily offer more comprehensive coverage. B. Or focus solely on catastrophic events. C. That they are designed to cover major health events after the deductible is met. Dental and vision coverage. D. Are not mandatory components of HDHPS but can be included as optional benefits. In Arizona, HDHPS can be a cost-effective choice for those looking to lower their monthly premiums while managing higher deductibles. Question 53. Personal auto policy PAP. In Arizona, which type of coverage under personal auto policy PAP would be most beneficial if your car is damaged in a hailstorm? A. Liability coverage. Part B. Coverage for damage to your auto. Part D. C. Medical payments coverage. Part B. D. Uninsured underinsured motorist coverage. Part C. Correct answer: B. Coverage for damage to your auto. Part D. Explanation: coverage for damage to your auto. Part D under a personal auto policy PAP would be most beneficial if your car is damaged in a hailstorm. B. This part of the policy, often referred to as comprehensive coverage, covers damages to the insured's vehicle resulting from non-collision events, including natural disasters like hailstorms. Liability coverage, Part A, covers damages and injuries the insured causes to others, while medical payments coverage, Part B, C, covers medical expenses for the insured and their passengers. Uninsured underinsured motorist coverage, Part C, D, protects against damages and injuries caused by drivers with insufficient or no insurance. Arizona drivers should consider comprehensive coverage to protect their vehicles from various perils, including hailstorms. Question 54. Homeowners insurance. Under a standard homeowners insurance policy in Arizona, which of the following types of personal property is typically subject to special limits of liability? A. Furniture. B. Jewelry. C. Clothing. D. Kitchen appliances. Correct answer B. Jewelry. Explanation: jewelry is typically subject to special limits of liability under standard homeowners insurance policy. B. These special limits apply to certain high-value items such as jewelry, furs, firearms, and silverware, often capping the amount payable for theft or loss of these items unless additional coverage or endorsements are purchased. Furniture, A. Clothing, C. And kitchen appliances, D. Are usually covered under the general personal property limits of the policy without special restrictions. Arizona homeowners should review their policies to understand these limits and consider additional endorsements to ensure adequate coverage for valuable personal property. Question 55. Ethics in insurance. In Arizona, an insurance agent knowingly misrepresents the terms of a policy to a client. Which ethical principle has the agent violated? A. Utmost good faith. B. Indemnity. C. Insurable interest. D. Subrogation. Correct answer A. Utmost good faith. Explanation: the ethical principle of utmost good faith requires that both parties to an insurance contract act honestly and disclose all relevant information. When an insurance agent knowingly misrepresents the terms of the policy to a client, they violate this principle. A. Indemnity. B. Ensures that an insured is compensated for a loss but does not profit from it. Insurable interest. C. Means the insured must have a financial interest in the subject of the insurance. Subrogation. D. Allows an insurer to recover the amount paid for a loss from a third party that caused the loss. Violating the principle of utmost good faith can lead to regulatory actions and damage the trust between clients and the insurance industry. Question 56. Claims handling scenario-based. MS Davis, an Arizona resident, files a claim for water damage to her home caused by a burst pipe. During the claims process, the adjuster discovers that MS Davis failed to maintain her plumbing system adequately, contributing to the pipe burst. What is the most likely outcome? A. The claim will be paid in full without any issues. B. The claim may be partially or fully denied due to lack of maintenance. C. The insurer will pay for the damage but increase MS Davis's premium. D. MS Davis will be required to switch insurance providers. Correct answer B. The claim may be partially or fully denied due to lack of maintenance. Explanation: if an insurer discovers that the insured failed to maintain their property contributing to the damage, the claim may be partially or fully denied. B. Homeowners policies typically cover sudden and accidental damage, but not damage resulting from negligence or lack of maintenance. In this case, MS Davis's failure to maintain her plumbing system adequately could be seen as negligence, leading to a denial of her claim. Insurance companies expect policyholders to take reasonable steps to maintain their property and prevent avoidable losses. In Arizona, maintaining home systems and addressing issues promptly can help ensure that claims are honored when legitimate losses occur. Question 57. Insurance regulation. Which of the following is a function of the Arizona Department of Insurance and Financial Institutions, DIFI, regarding consumer protection? A. Setting insurance premium rates. B. Investigating consumer complaints against insurers. C. Providing legal representation to insurance companies. D. Selling insurance policies directly to consumers. Correct answer B. Investigating consumer complaints against insurers. Explanation: the Arizona Department of Insurance and Financial Institutions, DIFI, plays a crucial role in consumer protection by investigating complaints against insurers. B. The DIFI ensures that insurance companies comply with state laws and regulations, addresses consumer grievances, and takes appropriate action against companies or agents that violate the rules. It does not set insurance premium rates. A. Provide legal representation to insurance companies. C. Or sell insurance policies directly to consumers. D. The DIFI's functions help maintain a fair and transparent insurance market in Arizona, ensuring that consumers' rights are protected and that they receive fair treatment from insurers. Question 50. Personal auto policy PAP. In Arizona, under which circumstances would uninsured and insured motorist coverage Part C of a personal auto policy PAP apply? A. The insured's vehicle is damaged by hail. B. The insured is at fault in an accident. C. The insured's vehicle is stolen. D. The insured is injured by the driver with no insurance. Correct answer D. The insured is injured by a driver with no insurance. Explanation: uninsured underinsured motorist coverage, Part C of a personal auto policy PAP, applies when the insured is injured by a driver who has no insurance or insufficient insurance to cover the damages. D. This coverage is designed to provide compensation for bodily injury and sometimes property damage caused by an uninsured or underinsured driver. It does not apply to situations such as damage caused by hail. A. Where comprehensive coverage would apply: at fault accidents involving the insured. B. Or theft of the insured's vehicle. C. Which would also be covered under comprehensive coverage. In Arizona, its coverage is crucial for protection against drivers who do not have adequate insurance. Question 59. Dwelling policy scenario based. Mr. Thompson, an Arizona landlord, has a E3 dwelling policy if fire damages his rental property, making it uninhabitable for 3 months. Which coverage would help Mr. Thompson recover lost rental income during the repairs? A. Coverage dwelling. B. Coverage C. Personal property. C. Coverage D. Fair rental value. D. Coverage E. Additional living expense. Correct answer: C. Coverage D. Fair rental value. Explanation: Coverage D. Fair rental value in a D3 dwelling policy covers the loss of rental income that the insured would have received if the rental property had not been damaged by a covered peril. C. This coverage helps landlords like Mr. Thompson recover lost rental income during the period necessary to repair or replace the damaged property. Coverage dwelling. A. Covers the structure itself. Coverage C. Personal property. B. Covers personal belongings owned by the landlord. And coverage E. Additional living expense. D. Covers the insured's own increased living expenses, not those of tenants. Arizona landlords should ensure they have adequate fair rental value coverage to protect their rental income in case of property damage. Question 60. Homeowners insurance. Which of the following perils is typically excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies in Arizona? A. Fire. B. Theft. C. Earthquake. D. Vandalism. Correct answer: C. Earthquake. Explanation: earthquake damage is typically excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies. C. Homeowners need to purchase separate earthquake insurance or an endorsement to cover earthquake-related damages. Standard policies generally cover perils such as fire. A. Theft. B. And vandalism. D. Arizona residents should be aware of the exclusions in their homeowners insurance policies and consider additional coverage for earthquakes, especially in regions with seismic activity. Understanding policy exclusions helps homeowners ensure they have comprehensive protection against various risks. Question 61. Emerging issues in personal lines insurance. How has the introduction of telematics affected personal auto insurance in Arizona? A. It allows insurers to tailor premiums based on actual driving behavior. B. It has eliminated the need for traditional underwriting. C. It guarantees low premiums for all drivers. D. It provides coverage for self-driving cars exclusively. Correct answer: A. It allows insurers to tailor premiums based on actual driving behavior. Explanation: telematics technology allows insurers to collect data on actual driving behavior, which they can use to tailor premiums more accurately based on individual risk profiles. This can lead to more personalized insurance rates, rewarding safe driving and potentially increasing premiums for risky driving behaviors. Telematics has not eliminated traditional underwriting. B. But has enhanced it. It does not guarantee low premiums for all drivers. C. As rates depend on driving habits. Telematics can be used for both traditional and self-driving cars, but does not exclusively provide coverage for self-driving vehicles. D. In Arizona, telematics is increasingly used to improve risk assessment and pricing in auto insurance. Question 62. Flood insurance. In Arizona, what is the primary role of the National Flood Insurance Program in FIP? A. To provide federal funds for any type of natural disaster. B. To insure all types of property damage. C. To offer flood insurance to property owners in participating communities. D. To replace private homeowners insurance. Correct answer: C. To offer flood insurance to property owners in participating communities. Explanation: the primary role of the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, is to offer flood insurance to property owners in participating communities. C. The NFIP aims to reduce the financial impact of flooding by providing affordable insurance and encouraging communities to adopt and enforce floodplain management regulations. It does not provide federal funds for all types of natural disasters, A, or insure all types of property damage, B, it specifically covers flood-related damages. The NFIP supplements but does not replace private homeowners insurance, D, which generally excludes flood damage. Arizona residents in flood-prone areas should consider NFIP coverage to protect against flood risks. Question 63. Personal liability insurance. In Arizona, which situation would likely be covered under personal liability insurance? A. Damage to the insured's own home from a fire. B. A guest slipping and falling on the insured's property. C. Theft of the insured's personal property. D. The insured's car being stolen. Correct answer. B. A guest slipping and falling on the insured's property. Explanation. Personal liability insurance typically covers bodily injury or property damage to others for which the insured is legally responsible. A guest slipping and falling on the insured's property, B, would likely be covered as it involves bodily injury to a third party. Damage to the insured's own home from a fire, A, would be covered under homeowners insurance. Theft of personal property, C, would also fall under homeowners insurance, and theft of the insured's car, D, would be covered under an auto insurance policy. Personal liability insurance is designed to protect against claims and lawsuits resulting from accidents or injuries occurring on the insured's property. In Arizona, this coverage is essential for safeguarding personal assets against potential legal liabilities. Question 64. Inland marine insurance. Which of the following items is most appropriately covered under an inland marine personal articles floater in Arizona? A. Furniture in your living room. B. A valuable piece of jewelry. C. Kitchen appliances. D. Landscaping equipment. Correct answer. B. A valuable piece of jewelry. Explanation. An inland marine personal articles floater provides coverage for valuable personal property that may not be adequately covered under a standard homeowner's policy. Items such as a valuable piece of jewelry, B, are typically covered by this type of policy. Furniture and kitchen appliances, C, are generally covered under the personal property section of a homeowner's policy, while landscaping equipment, D, may also be included in the homeowner's policy but would not typically be covered under an inland marine policy. In Arizona, individuals with high-value items should consider a personal articles floater to ensure adequate coverage. Question 65. Earthquake insurance, scenario-based. Mrs. Lopez, an Arizona homeowner, experiences damage to her home from an earthquake. She has an earthquake insurance policy with a 15% deductible. If her home is insured for $300,000, what amount will she need to cover out of pocket before her insurance coverage applies? A. $15,000. B. $30,000. C. $45,000. D. $60,000. Correct answer. C. $45,000. Explanation. An earthquake insurance policy with a 15% deductible means the insured must cover 15% of the insured value of the home before the insurance coverage applies. For Mrs. Lopez, whose home is insured for $300,000, the deductible would be 15% of $300,000, which is $45,000. C. This deductible applies before the insurance company will pay for the remaining covered damages. Understanding the high deductibles associated with earthquake insurance is crucial for homeowners in Arizona, especially those in areas prone to seismic activity. Question 66. Insurance principles and concepts. In Arizona, what does the principle of indemnity ensure in an insurance policy? A. The insured can profit from a loss. B. The insured receives double the value of the loss. C. The insured is restored to the financial position they were in before the loss. D. The insurer always pays the policy limits. Correct answer. C. The insured is restored to the financial position they were in before the loss. Explanation. The principle of indemnity in an insurance policy ensures that the insured is restored to the financial position they were in before the loss occurred. C. This principle prevents the insured from profiting from a loss, ensuring that they are compensated only to the extent of their actual financial loss. It does not allow for profit, A, or double compensation, B, and the insurer does not always pay the policy limits, D, unless the lost amount reaches those limits. Indemnity is a fundamental concept in insurance, promoting fairness and preventing moral hazard. In Arizona, understanding this principle helps policyholders recognize the purpose and limitations of their coverage. Question 67. Personal umbrella policy. Which of the following is a primary benefit of having a personal umbrella policy in Arizona? A. It replaces all other personal insurance policies. B. It lowers the premiums of existing policies. C. It covers personal property losses. D. It provides additional liability coverage beyond underlying policies. Correct answer. D. It provides additional liability coverage beyond underlying policies. Explanation. A personal umbrella policy provides additional liability coverage beyond the limits of the insured's underlying policies, such as homeowners, auto, or watercraft insurance. D. This policy kicks in when the liability limits of the underlying policies are exhausted, offering broader protection and higher coverage limits. It does not replace other personal insurance policies, A, but supplements them. It does not directly lower the premiums of existing policies, B, or cover personal property losses. C. Its focus is on liability protection. In Arizona, a personal umbrella policy is valuable for protecting assets against significant claims or lawsuits that exceed standard policy limits. Question 68. Watercraft insurance. Scenario-based. Mr. Jenkins, an Arizona resident, has a watercraft insurance policy. While operating his boat, he accidentally injures a swimmer. Which part of his policy would cover the swimmer's medical expenses? A. Physical damage coverage. B. Uninsured boaters coverage. C. Liability coverage. D. Medical payments coverage. Correct answer. C. Liability coverage. Explanation. Liability coverage under watercraft insurance policy would cover the swimmer's medical expenses resulting from an accident caused by the insured. C. This coverage pays for bodily injury and property damage for which the insured is legally responsible. Physical damage coverage. A. Pertains to damage to the insured's boat. Uninsured boaters coverage. B. Protects against accidents caused by uninsured boaters. And medical payments coverage. D. Would cover medical expenses for the insured and passengers on the insured's boat. In Arizona, boat owners should ensure they have adequate liability coverage to protect against potential legal liabilities from accidents involving their watercraft. Question 69. Insurance regulation. What is one of the key functions of the Arizona Department of Insurance and Financial Institutions, DIFI, in regulating the insurance market? A. Setting premium rates for all insurance policies. B. Providing legal defense for insurers. C. Licensing and monitoring insurance agents and brokers. D. Selling insurance policies directly to consumers. Correct answer. C. Licensing and monitoring insurance agents and brokers. Explanation. One of the key functions of the Arizona Department of Insurance and Financial Institutions, DIFI, is licensing and monitoring insurance agents and brokers. C. The DIFI ensures that insurance professionals meet the necessary qualifications and adhere to regulatory standards, promoting a fair and ethical insurance marketplace. The department does not set premium rates for all insurance policies. A. Provide legal defense for insurers. B. Or sell insurance policies directly to consumers. D. By regulating and overseeing the conduct of insurance agents and brokers, the DIFI helps protect consumers and maintain the integrity of the insurance industry in Arizona. Question 70. Health insurance overview. In Arizona, which type of health insurance plan typically requires members to use a network of doctors and hospitals with referrals needed for specialists? A. High deductible health HEHP. B. Health maintenance organization HMO. C. Preferred provider organization EPO. D. Exclusive provider organization EPO. Correct answer. B. Health maintenance organization HMO. Explanation. A health maintenance organization HMO typically requires members to use a network of doctors and hospitals and to obtain referrals from a primary care physician PCP to see specialists. B. HMOs emphasize coordinated care and often have lower premiums and out-of-pocket costs compared to other plans. In contrast, high-deductible health plans HHPV are characterized by higher deductibles and are often paired with health savings accounts HSAS. Preferred provider organizations PPOC offer more flexibility in choosing healthcare providers and do not require referrals for specialists, though they provide better coverage within their network. Exclusive provider organizations EPO-D are similar to PPOS but do not cover out-of-network care except in emergencies. Understanding these differences is crucial for Arizona residents choosing the right health insurance plan for their needs. Question 71. Homeowners insurance. In Arizona, under standard homeowners insurance policy, which of the following is typically considered an excluded peril? A. Fire. B. Flood. C. Theft. D. Vandalism. Correct answer. B. Flood. Explanation. Flood damage is typically excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies. B. Homeowners need to purchase separate flood insurance, often through the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP), to cover flood-related damages. Standard policies generally cover perils such as fire, theft, C, and vandalism. D. In Arizona, especially in areas prone to flash floods, it's important for homeowners to be aware of this exclusion and consider additional coverage to protect their property against flood risks. Understanding policy exclusions helps homeowners ensure they have comprehensive protection against various risks. Question 72. Personal auto policy PAP scenario based. Mr. Garcia, an Arizona resident, has a personal auto policy PAP. While driving his car, he gets into an accident caused by an uninsured motorist. Which part of his PAP would cover his medical expenses if he sustains injuries? A. Liability coverage. Part B. Medical payments coverage. Part B. C. Uninsured underinsured motorist coverage. Part C. D. Coverage for damage to your auto. Part D. Correct answer. C. Uninsured underinsured motorist coverage. Part C. Explanation. Uninsured underinsured motorist coverage. Part C of a personal auto policy PAP would cover Mr. Garcia's medical expenses if he is injured in an accident caused by an uninsured motorist. C. This coverage is designed to provide compensation for bodily injury and sometimes property damage caused by drivers who have no insurance or insufficient insurance. Liability coverage. Part A covers damages the insured is legally responsible for causing to others. Medical payments coverage. Part B can cover medical expenses for the insured and passengers regardless of fault, but Part C specifically addresses uninsured motorist situations. Coverage for damage to your auto. Part D covers physical damage to the insured's vehicle. Arizona residents should ensure they have adequate uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage to protect against such risks. Question 73. Insurance principles and concepts. In Arizona, what is the principle of what most good faith in insurance contracts? A. The insurer must always pay claims regardless of policy terms. B. The insured must be allowed to alter policy terms at any time. C. Both parties must act honestly and disclose all relevant information. D. The insurer must provide coverage for all types of risks. Correct answer. C. Both parties must act honestly and disclose all relevant information. Explanation. The principle of what most good faith in insurance contracts requires both parties, the insurer and the insured, to act honestly and disclose all relevant information. C. This principle is foundational to the insurance industry, ensuring transparency and fairness. The insurer must provide accurate information about the policy terms and coverage, while the insured must fully disclose all material facts that could affect the risk being insured. This principle does not mean that insurers must always pay claims regardless of policy terms, A, or that insureds can alter policy terms at any time, B, nor does it imply that insurers must cover all types of risks, D. In Arizona, as elsewhere, adherence to this principle helps maintain trust and integrity in the insurance process. Question 74. Claims handling. What is the first step in the claims process for a homeowner's insurance policy in Arizona after a covered loss occurs? A. Notify the insurance company. B. Hire a contractor to begin repairs. C. File a lawsuit against the insurer. D. Cancel the insurance policy. Correct answer A. Notify the insurance company. Explanation. The first step in the claims process for a homeowner's insurance policy after a covered loss occurs is to notify the insurance company. Prompt notification allows the insurer to begin the claims investigation and documentation process. Hiring a contractor to begin repairs. B should typically wait until the insurer has assessed the damage and authorized the repairs. Filing a lawsuit against the insurer. C is a last resort if there is a dispute over the claim, and cancelling the insurance policy. D would not help in recovering losses from a covered event. In Arizona, timely notification is crucial to ensure a smooth and efficient claims process. Question 75. Ethics in insurance. Scenario-based. Mrs. Davis, an insurance agent in Arizona, discovers that one of her clients has submitted a fraudulent claim. What should Mrs. Davis do in this situation to adhere to ethical standards? A. Ignore the fraudulent claim to maintain client relations. B. Assist the client in processing the claim. C. Report the fraudulent claim to the insurance company. D. Advise the client on how to avoid detection. Correct answer. C. Report the fraudulent claim to the insurance company. Explanation. Mrs. Davis should report the fraudulent claim to the insurance company. C. To adhere to ethical standards. Insurance agents have a duty to act with integrity and honesty, and assisting or ignoring fraud undermines the trust and financial stability of the insurance system. Ignoring the claim or assisting in its processing B. would violate ethical principles, and advising the client on how to avoid detection D. is highly unethical and illegal. In Arizona, as elsewhere, maintaining high ethical standards helps ensure fair treatment for all clients and the proper functioning of the insurance industry. Question 76. Personal Auto Policy PAP. Under an Arizona personal auto policy PAP, which coverage would apply if the insured's car is damaged by a hailstorm? A. Liability coverage. A Part B. Medical payments coverage. A Part B. C. Coverage for damage to your auto. Part D. D. Uninsured underinsured motorist coverage. A Part C. Correct answer. C. Coverage for damage to your auto. Part D. Explanation. Coverage for damage to your auto. Part D of a personal auto policy PAP would apply if the insured's car is damaged by a hailstorm. C. This part of the policy covers physical damage to the insured's vehicle, including damages from incidents such as hail, theft, vandalism, or collisions. Liability coverage. Part A covers damages the insured is legally responsible for causing to others. Medical payments coverage. Part B pays for medical expenses for the insured and passengers, regardless of fault. Uninsured underinsured motorist coverage. Part C D protects against accidents caused by drivers who have no or insufficient insurance. Arizona residents should ensure they have comprehensive coverage under Part D to protect against non-collision related damages like hailstorms. Question 77. Dwelling policy DP. In Arizona, which of the following perils is typically covered under A2 abroad form policy but not under EUN basic form policy? A. Fire. B. Falling objects. C. Lightning. D. Vandalism. Correct answer. B. Falling objects. Explanation. A E2 abroad form policy typically provides coverage for a broader range of perils compared to EUN basic form policy. Falling objects B are covered under the DEPA 2 broad form but not under the DEPA 1 basic form. Both DEPA 1 and DEPA 2 policies cover perils such as fire and lightning. C. Vandalism D is an optional coverage in DEPA 1 but is usually included in DEPA 2. Understanding the differences between these dwelling policy forms is essential for Arizona homeowners to ensure they have adequate protection against various risks. Question 70. Flood insurance in Arizona, which part of a standard flood insurance policy under the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP) covers the increased cost of compliance with building regulations after a flood. A. Building property. B. Personal property. C. Increased cost of compliance. D. Additional living expenses. Correct answer. C. Increased cost of compliance. Explanation. The increased cost of compliance coverage in a standard flood insurance policy under the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP) provides coverage for the increased cost of complying with building regulations after flood. C. This coverage helps policyholders pay for the cost of bringing their property into compliance with current floodplain management laws and ordinances. Building property. A. Covers the structure itself, while personal property B. Covers the contents inside the building. Additional living expenses. D. Is not typically covered under NFIP policies but may be available under homeowners insurance. Arizona residents in flood-prone areas should understand the benefits of ICC coverage to ensure they can rebuild in compliance with updated regulations after a flood. Increased cost of compliance. Question 79. Homeowners insurance. In Arizona, which of the following coverages under standard homeowners insurance policy would apply if a guest is injured on the insured's property and requires medical attention? A. Dwelling coverage. Coverage A. B. Other structures. Coverage B. C. Personal property. Coverage C. D. Medical payments to others. Coverage F. Correct answer. D. Medical payments to others. Coverage F. Explanation: medical payments to others. Coverage F under standard homeowners insurance policy covers medical expenses for guests who are injured on the insured's property, regardless of fault. D. This coverage is designed to quickly address minor injuries without the need for litigation. Dwelling coverage. Coverage A covers the home itself, other structures. Coverage B covers structures not attached to the home and personal property. Coverage C covers the insured's personal belongings. In Arizona, having adequate medical payments coverage helps homeowners manage the financial impact of guest injuries and maintain good relationships with visitors. Increased cost of compliance. Question 80. Personal liability insurance. Scenario-based. Mr. Thompson, an Arizona homeowner, is sued because his dog bit a neighbor, which part of his homeowner's insurance policy would potentially cover the legal defense costs and any awarded damages. A. Personal liability. Coverage E. B. Loss of use. Coverage D. C. Medical payments to others. Coverage F. D. Other structures. Coverage B. Correct answer A. Personal liability. Coverage E. Explanation: personal liability. Coverage E. Under a homeowner's insurance policy would cover legal defense costs and any awarded damages if Mr. Thompson is sued because his dog bit a neighbor. This coverage protects the insured against claims of bodily injury or property damage for which they are legally responsible. Loss of use. Coverage D. B covers additional living expenses if the home becomes uninhabitable. Medical payments to others. Coverage F. C covers minor medical expenses without litigation and other structures. Coverage B. D covers structures on the property that are not attached to the home. In Arizona, ensuring adequate personal liability coverage helps homeowners protect their assets and handle legal liabilities. Question 81. Ethics in insurance. In Arizona, what is the consequence for an insurance agent who engages in unfair trade practices such as misrepresenting policy terms to clients? A. No consequence as long as the client doesn't complain. B. License suspension or revocation. C. Immediate imprisonment. D. Fine payable by the insurance company. Correct answer B. License suspension or revocation. Explanation: engaging in unfair trade practices such as misrepresenting policy terms to clients can result in severe consequences for an insurance agent, including license suspension or revocation. B. Regulatory bodies like the Arizona Department of Insurance and financial institutions, DIFI, enforce strict standards to ensure ethical conduct in the insurance industry. Immediate imprisonment. C is not the typical first consequence for such actions, and fines payable by the insurance company. D are not generally the primary penalty for individual agent misconduct. In Arizona, adhering to ethical standards and regulations is crucial for maintaining a professional license and protecting consumers' trust in the insurance industry. Question 82. Personal auto policy PAP. In Arizona, under personal auto policy PAP, which of the following situations would be covered under uninsured and insured motorist coverage? Part C. A. The insured is hit by a driver with no insurance. B. The insured's vehicle is stolen from their driveway. C. The insured accidentally backs into a pole. D. The insured's car is damaged by a falling tree branch. Correct answer A. The insured is hit by a driver with no insurance. Explanation: uninsured under insured motorist coverage. Part C. In a personal auto policy, PAP covers the insured if they are hit by a driver who has no insurance or insufficient insurance to cover the damages. This coverage protects against bodily injury and sometimes property damage caused by uninsured or underinsured drivers. The theft of the insured's vehicle. B would be covered under comprehensive coverage. Part D. Damages from backing into a pole. C would fall under collision coverage. Part D. Damage caused by a falling tree branch. D would also be covered under comprehensive coverage. Part D. In Arizona, uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage is important for protecting against drivers who lack adequate insurance. Question 83. Inland marine insurance. Which of the following types of property is typically covered under personal articles floater in Arizona? A. The insured's home. B. The insured's car. C. The insured's jewelry. D. The insured's boat. Correct answer C. The insured's jewelry. Explanation: a personal articles floater (PAF) is a type of inland marine insurance that provides coverage for high-value personal properties such as jewelry, furs, fine art, and other valuable items. C. This coverage is designed to protect against loss or damage to these items, which may have limited coverage under the standard homeowner's policy. The insured's home A is covered under a homeowner's policy, the insured's car B is covered under an auto policy, and the insured's boat D would typically be covered under a watercraft policy. In Arizona, a personal articles floater is useful for ensuring that valuable personal property is adequately insured against various risks. Question 84. Ethics in insurance. Scenario-based. Ines Rivera, an insurance agent in Arizona, discovers that one of her colleagues is embezzling client funds. What is the ethical course of action for Ines Rivera? A. Confront the colleague and demand they stop. B. Ignore the situation to avoid conflict. C. Report the colleague's actions to the appropriate authorities. D. Assist the colleague to cover up the embezzlement. Correct answer. C. Report the colleague's actions to the appropriate authorities. Explanation. The ethical course of action for Ms. Rivera is to report the colleague's actions to the appropriate authorities. C. Insurance agents are required to adhere to high ethical standards and must act to protect clients' interests and the integrity of the insurance industry. Confronting the colleague A without reporting the issue does not address the breach of ethics and legal responsibility. Ignoring the situation B is unethical and could result in further harm to clients. Assisting in covering up the embezzlement D is highly unethical and illegal. In Arizona, reporting unethical or illegal activities is essential to maintaining public trust and ensuring the proper functioning of the insurance industry. Question 85. Flood insurance. In Arizona, which of the following is NOT typically covered under the National Flood Insurance Program and FIP flood insurance policy? A. Building property. B. Personal property. C. Increased cost of compliance. D. Additional living expenses. L. Correct answer. D. Additional living expenses. L. Explanation. The National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP) flood insurance policy does not typically cover additional living expenses (LD), which include costs such as temporary housing and other living expenses incurred if the insured property becomes uninhabitable due to flood damage. NFIP policies do cover building property A, which includes the structure of the home, personal property B, which includes the contents inside the home, and increased cost of compliance C, which helps pay for the cost of bringing the property into compliance with current building codes. Understanding the limitations of flood insurance coverage is crucial for Arizona residents, especially in areas prone to flooding. Question 86. Homeowners insurance. Which of the following is a key difference between HO3 and HO5 homeowners policies in Arizona? A. HO3 provides open peril coverage for both the dwelling and personal property. B. HO5 provides named peril coverage for both the dwelling and personal property. C. HO3 provides named peril coverage for the dwelling and open peril coverage for personal property. D. HO5 provides open peril coverage for both the dwelling and personal property. Correct answer. D. HO5 provides open peril coverage for both the dwelling and personal property. Explanation. The key difference between HO3 and HO5 homeowners policies is that an HO5 policy provides open peril coverage for both the dwelling and personal property D. This means the HO5 covers all risks except those specifically excluded. In contrast, an HO3 policy provides open peril coverage for the dwelling but named peril coverage for personal property, meaning it only covers the perils listed in the policy. This distinction is important for Arizona homeowners when choosing a policy, as HO5 offers broader protection but typically comes at a higher premium. Question 87. Personal umbrella policy scenario-based. Mr. Anderson, an Arizona resident, has a personal umbrella policy PUP with a $1 million limit. He is sued for $900,000 in damages following a severe accident at his home that exceeds his homeowner's insurance liability limit. How will his personal umbrella policy respond? The PUP will cover the $900,000 in damages after the underlying liability limits are exhausted. B. The PUP will cover only half of the damages. C. The PUP will cover damages only if the homeowner's insurance does not pay anything. D. The PUP will not cover any damages because it only applies to auto accidents. Correct answer A. The PUP will cover the $900,000 in damages after the underlying liability limits are exhausted. Explanation. A personal umbrella policy PUP provides additional liability coverage beyond the limits of underlying policies such as homeowners insurance. In this scenario, the PUP will cover the $900,000 in damages after the underlying liability limits of the homeowner's insurance are exhausted. This extra layer of protection is designed to cover large claims or lawsuits that exceed the limits of primary policies. The PUP does not cover only half of the damages, B, or require the primary insurance to pay nothing, C. It also covers various types of liability claims, not just auto accidents, D. In Arizona, having a personal umbrella policy is beneficial for protecting assets in the event of significant liability claims. Question 88. Personal auto policy PAP. In Arizona, under personal auto policy PAP, what is the primary purpose of medical payments coverage? Part B, A, to pay for medical expenses of the insured and passengers regardless of fault. B, to cover liability for injuries caused to others by the insured. C, to pay for damage to the insured's vehicle. D, to provide coverage for a rental car while the insured's vehicle is being repaired. Correct answer A, to pay for medical expenses of the insured and passengers regardless of fault. Explanation. The primary purpose of medical payments coverage, Part B, under personal auto policy PAP, is to pay for medical expenses of the insured and passengers regardless of fault. This coverage is designed to ensure that medical expenses are covered promptly following an accident without waiting for the determination of fault. Liability coverage, B, covers injuries caused to others, while collision and comprehensive coverages, C, pay for damage to the insured's vehicle. Rental reimbursement, D, covers the cost of renting a car while the insured's vehicle is being repaired. In Arizona, having medical payments coverage helps ensure immediate medical care for the insured and passengers after an accident. Question 89. Inland marine insurance. In Arizona, which of the following is NOT typically covered under a personal property floater policy? A, jewelry. B, cameras. C, automobiles. D, musical instruments. Correct answer, C, automobiles. Explanation. Automobiles, C, are not typically covered under a personal property floater policy. A personal property floater provides coverage for valuable personal items such as jewelry, A, cameras, B, and musical instruments, D, that may have limited coverage under a standard homeowner's policy. Automobiles are covered under an auto insurance policy which provides specific coverage for vehicles. Understanding the appropriate policy for different types of property is essential for Arizona residents to ensure adequate protection. Question 90. Homeowners insurance, scenario-based. Miss Lopez, an Arizona homeowner, has a HO3 policy. Her home is damaged by an earthquake and she files a claim. How will her homeowner's insurance respond? A, the HO3 policy will not cover the earthquake damage. B, the HO3 policy will cover the earthquake damage after. High deductible. C, the HO3 policy will cover the earthquake damage in full. D, the HO3 policy will cover the damage only if it is listed as an additional endorsement. Correct answer A, the HO3 policy will not cover the earthquake damage. Explanation. A standard HO3 homeowners policy does not cover earthquake damage. Earthquake coverage must be purchased as a separate endorsement or a standalone earthquake insurance policy. The HO3 policy covers many perils on an open peril basis for the dwelling, but earthquakes are typically excluded. Some insurers offer an earthquake endorsement, D, for an additional premium, which provides specific coverage for this type of peril. Understanding these exclusions is crucial for Arizona homeowners, especially in areas susceptible to earthquakes, to ensure they have appropriate coverage for all potential risks.